guys, welcome back. So, last time we left off, I think Yuri and I were reading a book of some sort. And she was gazing over my shoulder. So, we'll see what happens next. It's not a particularly bad thing, of course, that she's peering over my shoulder. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Oh, nice. Sorry. I was just...
Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Here, this should work, right?
I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. Okay, Patrick. See, you're starting to get clever. Ah, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Oh, Patrick. We're getting smooth, aren't we? It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open.
Ah, I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Oh, no shit, Patrick. You don't think things through, do you? Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Oh, I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. So now we're teaching Patrick how to read at long last. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready?
Eh?
To turn the page.
Ah, sorry.
I think I got a bit distracted for a second. You know, it is quite a view, I gotta say. This book. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. Ah, that's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? Yeah, Patrick's, he's on the slow side, you know. He lives under a rock after all. I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah, thanks.
We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb.
Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
You think so? How does she?
Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she's also second-guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything.
Of course not. When would Patrick ever be a mind reader? In what universe?
But they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms.
I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Patrick, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that.
Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute.
What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. You got lucky this time, Yuri, but I'm gonna get the answer out of you. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not... It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb.
Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you?
I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way.
Patrick, read. Not sure. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. I think I'm almost past the 5th letter. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know?
That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time.
Alright.
I stand up. I make a mental note. Oh, sorry. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. No doubt Patrick will probably forget later. You know, this is Patrick we're talking about here. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night?
Yeah, of course I did. I wrote words like anime.
My relaxation ends.
I can't believe...
Oh, I'm literally thinking like Patrick, hold on. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Oh boy. Decision time, huh? Decision time. Monica, Yuri, Natsuki, or Sayori? Well, I think based off all the characters so far, I like Yuri's character, so we'll show it to her first. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional.
Eh? What was that?
Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. That's adorable. He's going to hate me.
You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before.
Really?
Patrick? A common poet? Who would have thunk?
Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really.
Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly and looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. Wow, Yuri literally is, she can dissect a writer's brain like it's nothing. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though.
Biased? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine.
I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki.
Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Huh, well good. We're advancing upon the rare moments here. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Oh, whoa, Patrick. Let's hold it with the deep thoughts right now. You're still trying to read a book. Alright, what does the poem say? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers, and I flicker back. So it sounds like test of time, so maybe it has to do with dealing with certain moments in the past and dealing with the future. Living in the present, bathing, as the poem describes it. And the light flickers, I flicker back. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it'll be explained later. But maybe it's her attempt to live in the moment. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you a long time to read.
Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
I don't understand how Patrick's getting by just like using these like vague, like literally descriptive terms. Well, anyway.
It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild.
Oh, yeah, for Patrick's brain, yeah.
Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Hoo-hoo. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Patrick.
She knew Patrick was going to say that. Maybe she's the mind reader. I don't know. Anyway.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Yeah, figures Patrick would miss the point.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in our last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
And that definitely sounds like that pertains to her in particular, if I had to guess.
That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive, too, so...
Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you.
You think so?
Yeah, of course.
You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Patrick.
Ah, me too.
Alright. I guess we'll read one more. Let's pick... How about we go with Natsuki? Uh-oh.
Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you.
Oh god, hold on, I gotta get my voice together. Ugh.
That's a little blunt.
Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions.
So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes.
Do you want to get smacked?
No, please don't smack me.
I'll pass.
Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it.
Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. It's great. Alright. Dang, man. She put in as much effort into her poem as I put into mine. This is truly the work of a younger person. Anyway. But, yeah, people can try. That's about it.
Yeah, I told you you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am.
Yeah, you know Patrick can't lie. He's not smart enough to lie.
Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard.
Alright, Natsuki, you sound incredibly intelligent. Let's keep going, please.
Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme, but at the end...
Wait, hold on.
Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
God, I can't do this voice. This is hard.
So you did.
I guess more went into it than I realized. Yeah, seems so maybe I can't comprehend it though. My Patrick brain cannot comprehend how deep and vast this poem is.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that for the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, guess not.
I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. What a nice guy you are, Patrick. Okay, well, we'll check out the other two next time.